Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. It's Tuesday morning, and I hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. We are talking about talking and making sure that you talking is getting through to the other person that may be listening, or vice versa. Because how often do we feel like we're literally talking to a wall? I hear it from parents all the time. I do not understand how they just look at me with that blank look, or I say something and they totally ignore what I'm saying. Why is that? Why is it that when we talk, the people we're talking to are not listening? And that's what we're talking about today: communication, and how you can make it so that when you're having a conversation with someone, you're both being heard, because it's as important for you to be heard as for the person you're talking to be heard, right? So, I'm going to offer you 12 tips of what you can do and what you can really think about so that when you're talking to somebody else, they're listening, and vice versa. Okay. So before I get started, if you're new to my broadcast, give me a hashtag new and let me know that you're new so I can welcome you. And if you're here again with me, great. I'm so happy you're here. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with me. I appreciate it. I'm Celia Kibler. I'm a family and relationship empowerment coach. I'm the best selling author and award winning author, one of Mom's Choice Award, of Raising Happy Toddlers: How to Build Great Parenting Skills and Stop Yelling at Your Kids. This book is a manual. You know how everybody says kids don't come with a manual? They do. Here it is. So get it, put it on your shelf. It's available in English and Spanish. Put it on your shelf and refer to it as often as you need to. It has successful solutions to the majority of issues that come up during your parenting journey. I also have 3 children's books all about me. Being different is fun, and I am grateful. I am the founder of the Day of Calm Foundation, and the International Day of Calm and our 3-day summit is coming up on April 5th. So mark your calendars. Want you to be there. If you'd like to register so you get all the notifications about all the great international speakers that will be helping you calm all the areas of your life, you can go to dayofcalm.org and pledge to be calm on that day. Take our pledge. I would be so grateful if you did, because the more people that take responsibility for their lives and their actions, we're going to have such a better world. You know, all this violence against kids, guns, we're all very focused on gun control, but we're forgetting about the person behind the gun, the person that's holding the gun, because the gun is just the weapon. The mind of the person holding it and that wants to kill, that's what we have to take care of. And that's what we at the Day of Calm Foundation work to do, to soothe that rage and that anger so that we're raising kids without anger and rage, and we're not creating generation after generation of angry, raging adults. That's our main goal in the Day of Calm. So join us, please. If you think we need a less violent world and certainly want to reduce violence against children, go to dayofcalm.org, pledge, support, sponsor. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. You can create your own little calm jobs and calm projects and things like that. So you can really get involved. Okay. So talked enough about me. Let's get going, because I didn't even mention everything. But, oh, and I am a mom. I'm a mom of 5. 2 I gave birth to, 3 I gained through marriage. I've been a mommy for over 41 years. I'm a grandma to 9. So lots of experience to bring to you. But let's talk about talking. Let's get on with, how do we talk so that our children hear us and cooperate with us, and other people do. Who are you talking to? That's the first thing. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to a child? Are you talking to an adult? Are you talking to your partner, a coworker, another parent? who are you talking to? Make sure that what you're saying is aligned with who is listening, okay? If it's a child, you need to understand their age level of understanding. Don't talk over their heads. Talk so they understand. Give everybody clear, concise directions. If you are talking to a coworker, if you're at work and somebody kind of gives you a general instruction and you feel like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, it's because the direction was not clear enough for you. So make sure that you're giving clear, concise directions to whoever you're talking to. Okay, so consider who you're talking to and make sure your direction is clear and concise. All right, consider what your actions are along with your words. Communication is 80%, 80% nonverbal. So your tone of voice, rolling your eyes, making faces, using your hands, that is what's getting across more than the 20% of communication, which is the actual words you're saying. So keep in mind the way you're relating information to someone else. If you're like this, if you're holding your phone and somebody's talking to you, you're telling whoever you're talking to that this phone is more important than they are. If it's your children, that's hugely impactful. Make sure you're looking at them eye to eye like I'm looking at you. Show an interest. Be a good listener. Let me tell you guys, the best listeners are the best communicators. Why? They're fully hearing what the other person is saying. Listen with your eyes and your ears and your heart. Hi, Anupam. Because you want to actually hear the feeling that the other person is talking to you with. If they're aggravated, you want to recognize that. If they're frustrated, you want to recognize that. If they're excited, you want to recognize that. So listen with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. Okay? All right. Be a good listener. Another thing that we do as humans is while we're listening, we're planning a rebuttal. Give me an emoji if you think, you know what, you're right. When I listen to people, I'm planning what I'm going to say back. If you're doing that, and see hearts and hands of people who are doing that, you have to remember not to do that. Because if you are listening and planning your rebuttal, you're not fully listening because your mind's thinking about what am I going to say next? Be complete when you're listening so you hear everything they have to say, because that's when you'll really know what to respond to. You're going to miss half of their thoughts if you're busy plotting your rebuttal. Okay? Be a good listener. I have a great listening game, and it is a game, an exercise. It's basically an exercise you play with kids while you're listening to each other to practice active listening, to practice being the person whose eyes are on the other person. If you need help listening or your kids need help listening, it's a great family activity. Send me a message here on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching from, YouTube, and we'll get you that listening game. Okay? All right. Avoid judgment, criticism, and ridicule. In this day and age, people are so quick to judge. Yes? Yes or yes? Yes, yes. You see it on social media. You see it in conversation. You see it with people that you're just talking to, and they're like, well, if you don't think that way, then forget it. I don't care that we've been friends for 20 years. We're no longer friends. Listening requires hearing the other's point of view. Even if someone doesn't agree with you, they have valid reasons why they feel that way. And if we're going to start building connection in this world and building an understanding of other people, other cultures, other religions, other races, all of that, truly believing that we can build that connection, we have to listen to others' point of views when they disagree with us. Their reasons are just as valid as your reasons. And guys, I appreciate you wanting to be in my video, and I really don't know how to do it. I tried it once, it didn't work. I have to learn. I'll learn for next time, okay? I promise. But I tried it and it didn't work. But thank you for wanting to be in my video. I appreciate it. Please send messages or comments and I'll answer any comments I see scrolling through. Okay? So avoid judgment, criticism, ridicule. Don't just automatically do that. Feel what they're feeling. Understand that we all have brains in our head that we should be using. And those brains are not programmed exactly the same. It would be a pretty boring world if every single person thought the same way every day. Cheers. Have some coffee. Okay. What's the gateway to communication? Questions. Questions. Ask more questions. If you want to talk to your kids and you want to better understand what's going on, ask them questions. Can't miss the 21-day Stop Yelling program. Yes. Yes. If you haven't gotten the 21 days to Stop Yelling program, that has all the key elements of a parenting system that is peaceful, calm, and respectful, you need to get it. Go to quityelling.com. Quityelling.com. There is a coupon code. What is our coupon code for my broadcasts? Quityelling.com, and we'll get the coupon code where you can save like over 60%. It's a deal. I'm telling you, it's a deal. It's so valuable. You need to get it. 21 days. What's 21 days from now? 21 days from now, you can actually stop yelling. You can become a good listener. You and your children can have a whole new relationship. Family harmony. Don't we want family harmony? We do. We want family harmony. So go to quityelling.com. Okay. Stay on subject. So often when we argue, and this happens like, our coupon code is podcast. So even though this is not technically my podcast, you can use that code podcast. Okay. And that will save you over 60%. All right. Stay on topic. Who has conversations with their significant other and they wind up bringing up all this stuff from your past? Give me a raised hand. Give me a heart. Give me a disgruntled face. And it's like they bring up stuff that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. You need to stay to the topic. Don't bring up the past. Don't bring up stuff that doesn't relate just because you want to bring up some more basis for how you believe. It is not worthwhile. Okay? Stick to the topic at hand. Whatever's been done in the past and resolved is resolved and stays in the past. This is how you create respectful communication. You have a teenager, if you're talking to your teenager and you're bringing up, well, remember when you did this, or remember when you did this, this is going to happen again. Stop predicting. Give them a chance to talk and to understand and to be willing to do a better job next time. All right. Consider the words you use. The calm words, the respectful words, not the cuss words. Cuss words, I'm sorry, are not respectful. Angry words, not respectful. If you want to have a calm, productive conversation, be calm and respectful. And the words returned to you will also be calm and respectful. If you want your child to learn cuss words, Then start using them because they will easily learn them. We are born with the ability to communicate. We are not born with language. Language is 100% learned. And whatever language you're using, you're teaching your kids. Okay. All right. If there is a pressing subject, if there's something that you really need to discuss and you're like, "Ugh, I'm dreading talking about this. I really don't want to talk about this." Talk about it, okay? But find a calm, quiet area to discuss it. If you have something to discuss with your kids, don't discuss it in front of other kids or people. Go somewhere private. If it's a family issue, have a family meeting. If you don't know what a family meeting is, reach out to me. I have a booklet you can get that will guide you all about the proper way to conduct family meetings and discuss family topics, like speaking respectfully to each other. There are ways to do this. And if you follow these 12 ways, your communication will not just be heard, it will be followed, it will be agreed upon. You will find solutions. Okay. 2 more things. Give permission to walk away. So, as you're talking, if you tend to have discussions that get heated or get angry and yelling ensues, I'm all about helping 10 million parents stop yelling at their kids. If you easily turn to yelling, give each other permission to walk away. Say, you know what? I'm feeling a little tense, a little stressed. Recognize when you're feeling like you have to yell. Tell me in the comments if you tend to yell every day, whether it's at your partner, it's at your kids. Are you yelling every single day? Do you feel that way? Because they're not listening, you're not communicating. If you're in a discussion and that discussion gets heated, give each other permission to walk away. Doesn't mean you avoid talking about it, but right now, maybe you do. And you say, you know what? Let's just take a break. We can bring it up or we can address it again in 2 hours. Permission to walk away gives each of you time to calm down, rethink, replan. Okay. And if you're talking to your children, sandwich your conversation. What do I mean by sandwich your conversation? So think of a sandwich: bread, meat. The meat is what you need to talk about. The bread is compliments. Start with a compliment, end with a compliment, because the compliments will keep our mood and up and our irritability down. Okay. Everybody likes to get a compliment. Everybody likes to feel like it's all working. Alexis, you tend to yell every day. We need to talk. Or, honey, you could get the stop yelling, go to the 21 days to stop yelling, and go to quityelling.com, put in the coupon code podcast. For next to nothing, you will learn how to stop yelling. Because honestly, I have never met a parent or anyone that enjoys yelling at somebody else. The majority of parents I talk to, and Alexis, I'm sure you'll agree, feels like a bad parent when they're screaming and yelling at their kids or even their partner. How many of you that tend to yell feel like a bad parent? Good, Alexis. Let me know if you need any help. Don't forget the coupon code podcast. We all feel bad. And let me tell you, I assure you, your children do not like to be yelled at. If you were yelled at as a child, did you like it? No, nobody likes to be yelled at. I didn't like it. I was yelled at as a child. I don't like it. Nobody does. If you're at a job and your boss is constantly yelling at you and being negative towards you, you can quit that job. Your children can't quit their family. Respect is huge and learned. It's a two-way street. And yes, You should respect children even though they're children. They're human too. They make mistakes. They have little underdeveloped brains. Absolutely, you should respect them. That's how they learn respect. If they are busy shouting, I had someone message me on one of my parenting groups, and they were like, "My child is so disrespectful. They are 5 years old. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're cussing, they're doing all of this at 5 years old." They have learned it from a parent. Now, there's a lot of things that go into that kind of disrespectful behavior, and a lot of things that just aren't going right in that family. Because these things we see showing up from our children, these are symptoms. I hope you can appreciate that. They're symptoms of a core problem we're having, and that core problem is usually you're flying by the seat of your pants and you don't know how to calmly respond to a variety of situations. If you need to know more, be excited to learn more. We come to this day, this moment in time, with all the information we know, everything we've learned in our life. And if it's not working, if you're still yelling, your kids aren't listening, your spouse is not listening, you are at ends with each other, you're worried about separation or divorce, you're totally frustrated with your job. If everything in your life is just not working, or some things in your life is not working, be willing to learn more. Because you know what? You know what the most unhealthy thing in the world is? Who can guess? Write it in the comments. What is the most unhealthy thing to us humans? I'm going to wait a little and see if anybody writes the answer in the comments. This is the single most threat to your health. Anyone know? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an S and it ends with a tress. Stress. Stress is the single worst thing for our health. Yes, Dr. Shea, stress. Exactly. Because if you are stressed out about whatever, you might be stressed out about finances, your job, your family, your relationship, your extended family. If these things are stressing you out, it is going to eventually create health problems. It's going to affect your sleep, affect the way you eat. Stress affects everything. And if you are an adult in a family and you are super stressed out, your children are feeling everything you're feeling, everything. They are feeding off of your stress. And I know that's not what you want. I mean, I'm assuming you had children like to have fun and be happy and laugh and have a great time. If it's not working, be willing to learn more. And I have set up this, I have to reach 10 million families. I'm determined to help 10 million families. So I made this quityelling.com 21 days to stop yelling program as inexpensive as I could do it. It is a bargain for a happier, less stressed life, especially where your children are concerned. We are raising adults, not children. They're already children. And if you're ready to be intentional with them and ready to have happier moments, that is what's creating the memories for your children. Can you imagine raising a generation that doesn't have to recover from their childhood, that can blossom? What a concept. Wouldn't that be wonderful if a whole generation could blossom from their childhood instead of get therapy? Therapy is a billion-dollar industry, multi-billions, I believe. Everybody's busy recovering from their childhood. What if we could be intentional with our children today and the generational cycles of dysfunction and abuse today? If you are ready for that, if you're ready to literally change the world, Takes each of us to do that. That's why on April 5th, we celebrate the International Day of Calm. Being intentional about not screaming, yelling, judging, ridiculing, criticizing, ghosting, all those things we do to other people. Violence, rage, school shootings, abductions. The list goes on and on. That's my purpose behind the Day of Calm Foundation, is to soothe that. And in order to really soothe the anger and rage of society and end needless violence, we have to start at the human core. Where's the human core? It's us parenting our children. It is our children that are going to matter, because they're going to grow up to either be another generation of angry, raging adults, or a generation of intentional, calm, respectful, fun adults. Which would you like? 90% of trauma is caused in children by yelling at them. Yes. Think about that. If you're done yelling, if you're done feeling like a bad parent, I beg of you, take advantage of this coupon offer. Take advantage of this huge discount. Go to quityelling.com. Coupon code podcast, PODCAST. It is so affordable. It is under $50. It is like something you'd easily spend money on. $48, you can get a whole system. What better thing can you spend that money on that will literally affect your children for generations to come? It's the best investment you can make, and we're all here to support you. We give you all kinds of tools that you can use to really stop yelling in 21 days. So grateful for you. So grateful for all of you. And I'm excited. If you're getting the program, can you raise your hand if you're going to get quityelling.com and encourage other people? There's a VIP dashboard on the website. Thank you, Anupam, to remind you. Show hearts if you think, you know what? It's my day. It's my day to stop yelling. I'm done with this. I'm done with teaching my children the way to communicate is to scream and yell, because that's what they're learning. They're throwing tantrums because you're throwing tantrums. If you are screaming and yelling and hitting your kids, you are essentially throwing a tantrum. And then they get mad and they throw a tantrum and you get mad at them. Think about that. Everything you do, good or not so good, you're giving your children permission to do. You're not just showing them, you're actually saying, hey, you can do this. You can scream and yell too, because that's what I'm doing. Absolutely, you have permission to do that. Is that what you want? Think about that. Please take time to think about that. Do you honestly want to give permission to your children to throw constant tantrums? Yay, Alexis bought the program. It's her day. You can say it. It's my day. I don't have to continue the generational cycles that I grew up in. When I ask parents, why do they yell? Do you know what they say? Two answers for the most part. One, I don't know any better. Understandable, because that's what they learned. Their parents were screaming and yelling at them. Second is, I ask my children nicely. I use my manners. I smile. I ask them nicely over and over and over again, and then I yell. That is probably the most common reason people yell at their kids. Well, the problem actually is not the yelling. The problem is you're asking your children over and over and over again. You should not have to ask them more than once. Once, yes. You can have results by asking them one time without yelling. And you will learn how to do that in the 21 days to stop yelling. use the coupon podcast, go to quityelling.com. If you want to know how to stop asking and start seeing results, cooperation, listening. So many parents say, how do I just get my kids to listen? It's all in here. There's 21 strategies for you to incorporate in your parenting in your parenting life. I'm missing the word. That will create a system so you stop flying by the seat of your pants, and no matter what the phases and stages of life are that your children enter, you will know how to handle it in a positive, constructive, respectful way without yelling. Okay, guys. So if you're ready to say, this ends with me. Some people have already said it. Go to quityelling.com. Coupon code again to get that huge discount, over 60%, podcast, podcast. And if you haven't listened to my podcast, go to Pumped Up Parenting, the podcast. This is a game changer. 21 days. What do you have to lose? Except, of course, if you don't do it, your sanity, your stress. You can lose stress, sanity, happiness. You'll gain happiness and listening and cooperation. And your kids will actually cooperate because they want to cooperate. How fun is that? And you're not coming home from work stressed out. You're not leaving in the morning screaming and yelling, let's get going, let's get going. Come on, we're going to be late. That's not happening anymore. 21 days, not even a month. What's 21 days from today? I don't know. 21, it's February 41st. What is February 41st? I don't know. Someday in March, right? 21 days, mark your calendar. Because if you start today and you stay consistent, 21 days, it's all over. It's a game changer. You're not yelling anymore. There probably is not any better research-based course that gives you tools to act on clearly and concisely than this course. Because you know I am all about giving you useful tools that work, that you can apply easily today. I'm all about that. Not kind of over talking, not talking over your heads, saying literally, do this and this will happen. It's why so many parents say to me, it was like magic. What you told me to do, it worked like magic. Because I'm giving you actual, usable, doable tools that encourage, build respect, and trust. It will happen for you too. Okay, guys, I got to go. I have a client. Go to quityelling.com, coupon code podcast to get that big discount. And let me know, send me a message here on Instagram, Facebook, however you like to send me a message, Peanut, wherever you are that you're watching me, LinkedIn, YouTube. Let me know you got it so I can welcome you and support you in your journey. Okay, guys, again, I'm very grateful for you hanging out with me. I know life is busy, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join me today. I wish all of you peace, love, tons of laughter. You know how funny stuff is. You have to laugh, make life funny, find your funny. There's a lot of funny, okay? Thank you, Laura. I hope you're getting quityelling.com. Welcome to peaceful, happy, respectful, fun parenting. I mean, you know what? Honestly, none of us are getting out of here alive, right? So you might as well have a good time. Who needs the stress? Take the stress, throw it away. Bring in the fun, the cooperation, the memories. You're building memories for your kids, and you're affecting 7 generations to come. because what you're doing with your kids is what they're going to do with their kids. So think of it that way. Okay. Love you all. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. and around the web. Bye-bye, everyone.